Oh, Pierce, where have you been? Where's been the podcast? It's been a month. All right. I'm about to be the biggest excuse maker ever. Home renovations. New job. We've had guests over at the house. We're traveling. It was my birthday. I take 1 or 2 weeks off. And this is what I get, all right? It's fine. I'm back. I'm back for the Final Four is coming. Baseball's back. I'm back, all right? I take a little bit of time off in March every year to enjoy the Phoenix sun, to enjoy, go outside, smell the grass or the rocks, whatever you call it. I'm back, baby. All right, let's get it going. Got a lot to talk about. Welcome back. I'm back, feeling good about myself. MLB starting, NFL draft coming, NHL winding down, NBA winding down. We got a lot coming, and we're going to have a lot of fun going into this summer. So let's get to it. First off, Lions, I haven't talked about our offseason. I haven't, but let's talk about it. If you are looking at what Brad Holmes and the Lions are doing right now and not giving him an A+, you're crazy. Everything that they have done makes complete and total sense. To an absolute T. They have done it perfectly. The secondary was an extreme problem. So what does Brad Holmes do? Invest every single dollar into that secondary. Okay, now we've got our coaches. All right, can we keep all of our coaches and improve on what we are building from this year? Oh, yes, we can. Everybody come back. And it's just been an absolute perfect offseason. The only complaint I have is that we didn't re-sign Jamal Williams. But then we re-signed, so then instead of signing Jamal Williams, we get David Montgomery, which is a small upgrade. I love Jamal Williams. I think what doesn't get talked about enough with him is not only his production on the field when he led the NFL in freaking touchdowns, it's what he does off the field and helping the team get an identity. So that kind of stinks not having him. But to replace him with David Montgomery, who's arguably, technically a better running back, I don't hate it. In going into this draft, if you've noticed, I've been picking every Tuesday. I'd come out with my mock draft. I kind of like having that running back in the last couple of rounds, a Deuce Vaughn, an Israel. I can't say his last name, Chase Brown. These are some guys that you can get late in the draft and have a really good third running back. Brad Holmes, this has been lining up perfectly for him. He has done this absolutely perfect, and I love what we're doing. I love it. I mean, the offense was already built. You don't have to touch it. Okay, let's not touch it. Let's not mess with it. The defense, worst in the league. Now we've invested into it and made it a top 15 defense, which is all we're asking for. And the special teams is fine. And the coaching staff is great. How do you not love this team? I looked at the odds to win the NFC. And for the first time in my life, the Lions, they're fourth. They have the fourth best odds to win the NFC. The Lions. How are you not? I have not put myself in these shoes in an offseason and thought to myself, holy crap, we could actually win this. We could actually, win the NFC North. We could have a run in the NFC Championship game. Maybe we can make the NFC Championship game next year. Wouldn't put it past us. What were the Eagles' odds last year at this point? Why can't we? It's just unfathomable. Is that a word? Did I say that correctly? That we could be here. It's awesome. It's just so awesome. All right, MLB starting up this week. Time to do an MLB preview. Let's talk about the Tigers first, and later in the podcast we'll break down the MLB and give you my predictions. Tigers, their Vegas odds are 69.5 wins. 69.5 wins. It's hard for me to sit around and tell you that we can make that. I just don't see it. Last year we won 66 games. Where did we improve by 4 games? How have we improved by 4 games? Where? Can you point to me where we've improved? I can't. Our pitching, okay. Our hitting, no. I I think this is going to be such a long year. It's going to be terrible. I think this year is going to be so not fun. And it's so frustrating because I looked at the end of the AL Central and I'm like, are the Twins really that good? Well, no. Are the Guardians really that good? Well, they got a couple pieces. Are the White Sox that good? Well, no. Are the Royals good? No. So, like, what? I just don't understand what we did. I felt like we had a chance to really make a run at going to the playoffs this year, and instead we're just like, yeah, that rebuild was a fail. Now let's do the second rebuild. That kind of sucks. Kind of sucks a lot. So, 69.5 wins. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be May, and we're going to be like 500, and I'll be sitting here going, you know, I'll be doing live streams once a week for the last 3 innings, like I was doing for the Red Wings. But I'm going to convince myself that we could, you know, make the playoffs, and we're not. We're not. That's just not how it's going to go. It's not. Speaking about disappointments, the Red Wings, I don't know if I'd say they're a disappointment. They look, this wasn't going to be a Stanley Cup championship team. Yzerman did what he needed to do. As of right now, we have the 17th and the 9th pick. That's before the lottery. Look, next year's the year to be a playoff team. Next year's the year to start looking at winning a championship. I like what we're doing, but now we're starting to tank hard and heavy, and every single night we're tanking. I don't hate it. I don't hate what we're doing. I really don't. I really like what we're building. And then the Pistons obviously have the best odds for the Wembayama. So let's do it. Let's go to tankathon.com/draft and hit the sim lottery and see who we get. Ready? We get the 5th pick. Woo! That's bad. Yeah, it's bad. That's not good. And Troy Weaver we trust, but damn, that would be bad. That'd be really bad. That would really suck. Wow. All right. All right. Quick pod, but let's go to the European Minute and let's talk about the Final Four and give you my MLB predictions. European Minute, and it starts in 3, 2, 1. European Minute. All right, F1 sucks. It just sucks. It's not fun. It's not entertaining, and I'm glad that I don't have to watch it for another month because I'm not going to stay up till midnight to watch the Australian Grand Prix. What do you want? Huh? You want me to sit around and be like, oh, it's so great to have Max Verstappen win by 35 seconds. Oh, this is so great. Oh, it's a bad product. It's a bad product. It's not fun. The race for second should be what we are racing for first. Like, how are we not getting these? How are we not getting these engines running? How is this not making sense to anybody? I'm not saying we need to like hurt Red Bull because they did such a great job. We need to figure out a way to make the other teams close to what they're doing. Throw a freaking yellow flag. Throw a random yellow flag at the end so we can get it close. I don't know. It's not fun. And then before the time ends, Champions League, Chelsea's in a lot of trouble. Real Madrid's going to be really rough. I just hope we keep it decently close. Just decently close. And that's been your European Minute. All right, obviously college basketball's happening right now. I had to tape right before the ending of the Texas Miami game. It's halftime right now. I'm recording it. Final Four currently is San Diego State against FAU, Texas, or Miami against UConn. I'm going to predict that it's going to be Texas versus UConn in the Final Four. And I've been talking to a lot of my friends, and they've been like, oh, it's so crazy, and FAU and San Diego State, like they would have never made the Final Four in these kind, like that. This just does. It's kind of weird. What do you think? And it's like, in my opinion, this is what makes March Madness March Madness. I think UConn, Texas, and Miami would be a Final Four team in a lot of years. FAU and San Diego State wouldn't be a Final Four team in a lot of years. Most years. Maybe all of years. And now they're going to be in the national championship. I think it's great, and I'm trying to put my finger on why this year was so crazy. And I've come up with 2 reasons. One, when I look at the top 15, when I look at Tankathon and I look at a lot of mock drafts and I look at the top 6, overtime elite, G League, 2 freshmen and an international player. The development of going pro instead of going to college, I think has a major factor into the game being so chaotic and not having one dominant team. And the second reason why I think that college basketball was so chaotic this year is the transfer portal. I think Texas kind of is the outlier in this situation, that the transfer portal, it's hard to, like, you have to have a team. You can't just transfer in a bunch of players and then hope like hell it works. Illinois was a good example of it. They just transferred in all these players and they're like, all these players are good, it'll work. It's not how it works. You need to have a team. You need to have everybody come back and you build these kids up. And I think it's kind of interesting to see how this is going to go. I wonder if this is going to be kind of an outlier, and then in the next couple of years, it's going to come back to having a bunch of blue bloods, and if you have the best player, you win. But I think this year proves that in order to win in college basketball, you need to build it up as a team. You need to be a team. You have to have a solid core that grows with it. I think it's kind of nice to kind of have that come back. Now, yes, every team has one or two transfers that help them be better. What I'm saying is that your main scorer, your main piece, needs to be somebody who's in it. And I'll be interested to see what happens in the next coming years. And I think, well, this has kind of been the least amount of college basketball I've watched in my life. That's because I'm trying to get into hockey more and more because I think the Red Wings are going to be great. I think it's going to be interesting to see the future of college basketball, to see if it's going to keep being like this, where it's every year is just no blue bloods, but we have hectic, anybody can win every single night. In my opinion, that makes the game better, and it helps grows the game because a little school in Omaha called Creighton has a chance to make the Elite Eight and is so close to making the Final Four, meaning that a lot of good kids don't have to go to Duke anymore. They can go to a small school like Creighton that has no prestige and no history like Creighton. They can go to those kinds of schools and be successful. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the future of college basketball looks like. All right, let's talk about Major League Preview. Last topic, and then I'll go to final thoughts. Here are my predictions, okay? Here are my predictions for each division winner, all right? I wrote it out, and I looked at myself and said, Self, you are such a stupid square. You're such a dumb square, and I hate it. But here we go. AL Central, I got the Guardians. AL East, I got the Blue Jays. AL West, I got the Astros. NL Central, I got the Cardinals. NL East, I would have picked the Mets, but I don't like their juju, so I'm going with the Braves. And I almost went the Phillies because Trey Turner looks so good. NL West, I wanted to go with the Dodgers, but I think that the Padres can figure it out this year, and I think I'm going with the Padres. Those are my division winners. Doesn't mean that they're going to win the World Series, obviously. But here is my World Series prediction. I've got the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. I think the Cardinals were a great team last year. They ran into a buzzsaw with the Phillies, and I think they've got this manager. I like it. I like Marmol. I like where we're going. I think their pitching is solid. I think they don't have a number one guy, but I think they have like 4 or 5 like second starters. I don't think they have many. They don't have many people who miss is my thing, and I think they can ride that in the playoffs. I think with Goldschmidt and Arenado, it's pretty tough to beat. So I've got the Cardinals going to the World Series, and I've got them losing to the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that Berrios, Manoah, I think their bullpen is solid. I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. comes onto the scene hard. I think Bo Bichette comes onto the scene. I think a lot of things are growing in Toronto, and I think they piece it all together, and I think they win the World Series. I think they're going to have a fantastic team this year, and I really like what's going on up there. I hope the Cardinals win the World Series. Weirdly enough, I have a lot of family that are Cardinal fans and a lot of friends who are Cardinal fans. I hope they win, but I just, for some reason, I think I picked the Blue Jays last year as well. I really like Toronto. I really, really like Toronto this year. So I'm picking them. Let me look at what their odds are. I'm picking them. They're at 12-1 odds to win the World Series. That's my pick. Not chalky. They've got the 7th best odds, so I'm not chalky. Blue Jays, Cardinals, Blue Jays to win it all. All right. Final thoughts. I've been a golf fan all of my life. All right, my dad taught me golf. I've been playing golf since I was 3 years old. My grandfather was a U.S. amateur, traveled the country. I love golf. here's the thing. I love what golf is doing and trying to do. I'm saying this because I watched the match play today, and the match play is such a different format, and they do it every year. It's my favorite tournament because it's just grueling. Win that tournament, in my mind, is one of the hardest things to do because you play so many holes, so many good guys, the best of the best. I like what golf is doing. The full swing, I didn't watch it because not my thing. I already know kind of what happened, so it's not my thing. But I've had a lot of people in my life who are starting to get interested because of it. Great. The golf ball, changing the golf ball to make the drive shorter. Great. You can't be having these guys hit 400 yards. It's cool once. Once they hit the golf ball 400 yards once, awesome. Sick. But bring it back. Make it a little bit more competitive. Make them hit tough shots. Let's see how they can get up and down from the sand trap. Let's check that out. I want to see that. I like where golf is going. I like what they're doing, and I like where their branding is. And I think that in the future, that golf is going to be bigger, better, more fun. I think if you add a little razzle-dazzle to it, which they're doing, a little bit competitive, here's some guys that we hate, here's some guys that we love, I think the product's only going to get better. And I think if you're sitting there going, well, I'm anti-live, I think live is now making the PGA Tour even better and more hungry than it ever has. Competition makes it all better. So I like what live is doing. I like what the PGA Tour is doing. I'm excited for golf. As a golf fan, I'm excited to see where golf is going. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe and you send it to me, I will send you a personalized thank you or a picture of my dog, whichever one you choose. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'm back. I'm going to start getting the blog back up. Trying to write a blog a day, just making it fun. I'm just trying to have, I got a lot going on, but I'm excited to be back. I appreciate you guys. God bless. Go to Troy Sports.